In Highland Park, Illinois, families of the 7 people killed in the July 4th mass shooting are coming together for the heartbreaking task of saying goodbye to their loved ones. At the same time, investigators are learning more about the suspect and what may have led up to his deadly attack. NBC's Liz McLaughlin is in Highland Park. Liz, the community is mourning, and there was one vigil earlier today. How is the Highland Park community trying to make sense of this tragedy right now?
Well, Michael, many in this community are trying to turn their pain into purpose. You're starting to see some people behind me trickling in. There's scheduled to be a gathering here to demand change, to an awareness around gun violence. I'm here with Rachel Jacoby. She's one of the organizers of this rally happening today. And Rachel, just a month ago, you organized another rally around gun violence after those horrific events in Buffalo, in Uvalde, and to have it happen in your hometown so soon after, what was that like? How are you feeling right now?
Honestly, it's just been devastating. We know that gun violence is a common fact in American life, and we were here organizing against the horrific shootings that we saw in Buffalo, Uvalde, Tulsa, too many to name. But even then, you never really expect that's going to happen in your hometown, and when it does, our community is just shattered.
And what are you asking for today? How does it go beyond words into tangible, substantial change?
Yeah, we are in a country where there's extremely high level of gun violence, and guns are the leading cause of death in children, but it doesn't have to be that way. So we're here today to fight for a future free from gun violence, so every kid and every single American can go to a movie theater, can go to a mall, can go to a school, can go to a parade, and not have to fear for their lives.
You know, Illinois has pretty strict gun laws compared to some neighboring states. Some people say that gun laws don't work, that it can't prevent tragedies like this. What do you have to say to them? What's your response to that?
Well, first, we know that that is simply untrue. The research shows that gun laws save lives. And in all of this talk about Illinois having strict gun laws, what is often failed to be mentioned is that in our neighboring states, there are significantly less strict and more lax gun laws. So that means that in states like Indiana and Iowa and Wisconsin and Ohio and Missouri, their more relaxed gun laws make all of us here in Illinois more unsafe.
Well, certainly I'm so sorry for your community. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. And it will definitely be a long road to recovery, but the message is clear. A lot of folks here demanding change, wanting more gun control.
NBC's Liz McLaughlin, thank you so much. We know now Robert Crimo was under 21 when he bought an AR-15 style rifle. He did so with help from his father, who acted as a sponsor for his son's firearm owner identification card. Now the Daily Beast is reporting the suspect had a long history of mental instability, including several attempts to take his own life, and his family was aware of it. This raises some very interesting legal questions about where the suspect's family could be held legally responsible. I'm joined now by Christine Rowe Finkbeiner, the co-founder and CEO of Moms Rising. Illinois State Police confirmed that the suspect's father helped him with his gun permit when he was under 21 years old. Do you believe the suspect's father, should face some criminal charges here, some responsibility for this?
This is such an important question because, as we just heard, guns are the leading cause of childhood death in the United States of America right now. So trying to figure out how to address this issue should be the top priority for America. To put this in perspective, and I think perspective is so important here, there have been 322 mass shootings so far this year and nearly 23,000 gun deaths in 2002 so far. And in that question, this very complex question about how to solve the gun violence epidemic in America, we can't inadvertently pretend that the gun violence epidemic can be solved by parents alone. And that question is at the core of what's happening right now. To put that in context, the overwhelming majority of mass shootings in America, which include racial and religious domestic terrorism, take place by guns purchased by the shooter who are over 30 years of age. So as to parents, to your question, who don't lock up their guns or who provide access to weapons to kids who have known intent to harm, yes, I believe in many cases there is absolutely responsibility. But all told, we can't make this into a small personal responsibility problem. The reason we have so much more gun violence in America, frankly, compared to other nations, isn't because we have uniquely bad parents. It's because we have uniquely bad gun laws. There are more guns than people in our nation right now, with very few restrictions on weapons of mass killing. So to get to the core of the issue, to get to solutions, to get to saving lives, we need bold federal legislation to end the carnage. We need bans on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines like the shooter just used. We need bans on bump stocks and ghost guns. And we need to raise the age at which people can purchase up to 25. That was a long answer. I know it's a complicated question.
No. In fact, you touched on a number of things that really kind of draw our attention to the responsibility and role that parents play in all of this, because this isn't the first time this question of charging parents has come up. Ethan Crumbley's parents, for example, were just in court a couple of weeks ago. They've been charged with involuntary manslaughter for not telling the school that they gave their son a weapon before he killed 4 students in Oxford, Michigan in November. If they're found guilty, do you expect more of these types of charges coming forward? And will that begin to make a difference to the broader points that you were raising?
I think the Crumbley case is an important one in Michigan. Their son, after they had heard from the school more than twice, was a threat to the school, killed 4 of his classmates. It's awful. It's devastating. And they got their son for Christmas a gun, even though they knew that their son was a risk to the community. And so I think what we're looking at here is that anytime any person is known to be a risk to the community and somebody else, parents or other, provides them with a weapon, then there needs to be responsibility. Now, right now, we have other cases where parents or grandparents have turned in their children for being a threat to the community and saved lives. So we have stories on both sides. But the key thing here is, again, we really need to take a look at our gun laws. Right now, we have weapons of war in the hands of people of all ages, and that's not okay.
Kristen Rowe Finkbeiner, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. For our audience, if you or anyone you know is having thoughts of self-harm or harming others, help is available. You can call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. The number is there on the screen, 1-800-273-TALK. You can also text them. Coming up, I'll be talking to a Wisconsin state senator about the new ban on absentee ballot drop-off boxes outside election offices, how this could impact upcoming elections. Next.